Good morning. We're just going to give a moment for folks to clear the waiting room and connect to audio.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us this morning. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are speaking before the board. Just give one more moment to clear the waiting room. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the city of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Thank you, Danny. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm chair of the Boston Licensing Board, and today I am joined by Commissioner Kiana Saxon and Commissioner Liam Curran.
Thank you. And once again, as a reminder, please do remain on mute unless or until you are speaking before the board. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will then make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. Following questions, there will be testimony accepted, beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes, and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Item number 1 on this morning's agenda has been previously approved by the board and is only on the agenda to correct a defect in the abutter notifications that went out. It will not be heard again today. Calling item number 2, 311 Boss LLC, doing business as 311, located at 605 Tremont Street in Roxbury, has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above ground floor dining room, front waiting area with a kitchen with storage in the back and 1 restroom. Manager Carrie Coe, hours of operation 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Carrie Cole right here.
Great. Thank you very much, Ms. Coe, for being with us this morning. If you could please briefly present your proposal to the board.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. 311 is a Japanese omakase restaurant. We offer a chef choice daily menu with 10 seats only. We only open 2 time slots per day. One is from 5 to 7 p.m. Another one is from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. So after we finish up, we have to clean up and closing. So it should be around 10:30 to 11. We will be not offering any takeout or delivery service. Business 100% rely on dine-in business, and our client focus are mainly from residents and business around the neighborhood. We do see couple walking distance, 8 minutes walking distance to Back Bay T stations, and there are 3 to 4 parking garage within 5 to 8 minutes walking distance.
Thank you very much. We'll turn it over to the board to see if there are any questions. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you. Just going to ask you, just because I've never heard of anything like this before. So there's 8 seats and there's 2 seatings, or there's 2 blocks of time that you let people come and go. How does that? Can you explain that to me one more time?
So it's more like a new concept. Is we will have 2 chefs facing 10 seated, 10 clients, each time slot. So we will have 2 hours dining period. So the first dining period is 5 o'clock to 7. And then the next dining period will be half hour later from 7:30 to 9:30. So each time only have 10 clients in between 2 hours.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran?
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, yes. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kim Crucioli from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office held an abutters meeting in June of 2022, where general support was shown by the abutters. There was a little bit of confusion over the name since one of our city departments shares the same name. But other than that, there are no other concerns. At this time, our office would like to defer to the board. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 3, Rebel Restaurants, Inc., doing business as Lawn on D, located at 420 D Street. Holder of a neighborhood restricted common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Dean Pacheco to Kristen Bonish. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Mr. Secretary, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Kevin Cloutier from the Cloutier Law Firm located at 1990 Center Street in West Roxbury. I represent the applicant. I'm also joined by the proposed manager, Kristen Bonish. And we're asking this board's approval for the change of manager application to name Ms. Bonish as the licensed manager at Lawn on D. Lawn on D is a 19,000 square foot location, primarily open space in the Seaport District. That includes a 5,000 square foot tent that provides food and beverage service. Lawn on D is part of the Rebel Restaurants family of restaurants, which owns and operates 12 establishments, including the Tony C's and Temescal in the Seaport District, as well as the Signature Pavilion tent adjacent to Lawn on D. So Ms. Bonish has a strong support network on the operations side behind her, supporting her and her operations at Lawn on D. Ms. Bonish is uniquely qualified. She's a mother of 2. She lives in Woburn, where she lives with her 2 young daughters and her husband. She had 3 brothers growing up, and they prepared her for a Division I career at UMass, where she was a hockey goalie. Maybe that more than anything else prepared her for the restaurant business and makes her qualified for this position to run Lawn on D. After graduating UMass in 2008, she started 2 years at a desk job and realized that wasn't for her, and since went into the restaurant industry in 2010, where she's been ever since, including 6 years with Rebel Restaurants locations. She's very well qualified. She's been mainly in the front of the house as a bartender, manager, and so is very attuned to the liquor compliance laws, and especially at Lawn on D, which has a unique clientele with primarily family-focused activities and a lot of lawn events from sort of the 12 to 5 p.m. range. And they do have a younger 20-year-old to 30-year-old, obviously some more than that, but focus in that age range later on at night. So they have a robust security operation as making, checking IDs in and out and during service. And so she's very well qualified and experienced to handle this location. She has a trust and confidence of Rebel Restaurants, and I would ask this board to extend that same trust and confidence in her in approving this application.
Thank you, attorney. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Bonish. I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
None for me. Thank you.
None for me either. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Sweet Rice Thai Sushi, Inc., located at 187 Main Street in Charlestown. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Teradate Sunternut to Natasit Nit Sakulchai. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, this is Attorney Ken Augen on behalf of the applicant. Mr. Natasit Nimit Sakulchai, he's currently, he was the manager at Pepper Sky in Cambridge, where he worked since 2016. The Sweet Rice Thai Sushi has been in operation also since 2021, and he has been in the restaurant business for many years prior to the current position. He has gone gone through the training in Cambridge where the former where he was formerly the manager. And he is also TIPS certified and well acquainted with the rules and regulations of the board. He's eminently qualified. He's been working as a restaurant manager in an establishment serving alcohol for a number of years now. The restaurant is well, as the name implies, is a Thai sushi concept. And they, before the current owners took over, it was also continuously operating since 2016 at the current location. So we would like to ask the board's approval in transitioning to Mr. Nimit Sakalchai.
Thank you, Attorney Augen. Chairwoman Joyce, any questions for the applicant?
Thank you, attorney, and thank you for joining us, sir. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, but I'm not sure if I caught whether or not he is a resident of Massachusetts.
Oh, yes, he is a resident of the Commonwealth as well. He's a US citizen. And I know there was.
And he has experience, which you described. The final question is, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board? The ABCC and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
He is.
Yes or no? Okay. All right. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
Nothing for me, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 5, EAHG Boston TRS LLC, doing business as Hotel AKA Back Bay, located at 154 Berkeley Street. Holder of an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Robert Rivers to William Brodsky. Attorney Elizabeth Pisano. Attorney Pisano.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Elizabeth Pisano from Upton, Connell, and Devlin. With me this morning is William Brodsky. He is the proposed manager of record at EAHG Boston TRS LLC. William is a Massachusetts resident, a U.S. citizen, and is familiar with the rules and regulations relating to the sale of alcohol of this board and the ABCC. He is TIP certified and he has over 25 years of experience in the hospitality industry and specifically here in Boston. And we're happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, attorney. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Brodsky. I don't have any questions. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Nothing for me, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 6, the Catered Affair Inc., doing business as the Catered Affair, located at 700 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victual or 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Pierre Pratt to Karen Lynn Pattern, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the licensee. With us this morning is Karen Patton, the proposed new manager of record. This is the licensee at the Boston Public Library, the Catered Affair. We're here before you today for a change of manager to ask that Ms. Patton be approved as such. She is a Mass resident, a U.S. citizen, is familiar with the rules and regs, and is ready to take any of your questions this morning. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for outlining that. Just want to make sure I didn't miss. Is she, Ms. Patton, are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, do you?
No questions for me, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 7, Sobo Bistro LLC, doing business as Chilicates, located at 69 L Street in South Boston. Holder of a common victual or 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned for the approval of a management agreement between Sobo Bistro LLC, doing business as Chilicates, and Cocina Abreu 7 Inc. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Thank you, Danny. Good morning, Chairman Joyce, Commissioners. Tom Miller from McDermott, Quilty and Miller in Boston on behalf of the licensee. As Danny said, this is an application to approve a management agreement. Cucina Abreu, operating as Chocates, is an experienced operator. The brand was founded over 13 years ago and now has 9 locations in and around Boston. The concept here is a culinary Mexican street food experience for the customers, focusing on local and natural ingredients. They have extensive experience in the food and beverage industry, as I've said, successfully operating, opening, and expanding their business over more than 10 years. The team here has been operating food service at this location since April successfully. As I've said, they are experienced. They understand the responsibilities of operating a license. They are familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, the ABCC, and the Mass General laws. The approval of this management agreement would allow the manager here and the licensee to utilize aspects of the license to enhance the food experience with the service of alcohol and bring this amenity to the community in the area. We want to thank you for hearing this application today and are happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, attorney. And the manager is going to stay the same?
The
Yeah.
manager of record sorry. The manager of record is, if this agreement is approved, we will be back before the board to change the manager of record on the license.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Hi, Mary Kofsky here for Councilor Flaherty's office, would also like to go on record in support, please. Madam Chair and board members.
Thank you for that. And are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 8, High Street TRS LLC, doing business as High Street Place, located at 100 High Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for the approval of an additional management agreement between High Street TRS LLC and Sugar Skulls LLC. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dennis Quilty representing the licensee. With me this morning is Lauren Johnson, who is the owner's representative and the manager of the entire facility. As indicated in the agenda item, this application seeks to add one additional management agreement to the existing multifaceted operation at this location known as High Street Place. Very popular downtown establishment, which has been licensed for the last 2 years. The new entity is Sugar Skulls LLC, which would become one of a number of operators under the master license at this location. And we're certainly here to answer any of the board's questions. No other changes to the operations, to the management, to the hours of operation, or any other such change. And once again, we're happy to answer any of your questions this morning.
Thank you, attorney. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me either, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 9, Hot Eastern Restaurant, Inc., doing business as Friendship BBQ, located at 40 Harrison Ave. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to change the category of the license to a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license pursuant to the authority contained in Chapter 481 of the Acts of 1994. Attorney Carolyn Conway. Attorney Conway.
Good morning, Attorney Green, members of the board. I am by myself today. I just wanted to let you know that the owners of the licensed premises are traveling to Indiana. Their daughter has been selected for a national piano competition. And I told them that since I believe that we could go forward on the matter. As the board's aware, since early 2018, Hot Eastern has held a beer and wine license, and successfully without any violations. We're looking to change the category of the license today from beer and wine to beer, wine, and cordials. The board will also remember that the same operator was awarded a cordials license for the sister restaurant out in Brighton a few months ago. We have appeared before the Downtown Boston Improvement District. We've also appeared before the Chinatown Neighborhood Safety Committee and Neighborhood Council, and have received their support for the change of category. There will be no other change in the operation of the business, its hours, its capacity, anything. It's just to look to change the category so that we can have more offerings for our clients, different flavors. And we're looking forward to doing that at this location.
Thank you, Attorney. I'm just taking some notes. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Chu from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. No abutters meeting was held for this proponent, but they did go in front of the Chinatown Neighborhood Council and has a support letter from them. There are some concerns from Councilor Flynn's office, but I'll let them speak on it. At this time, we would like to defer to the judgment of the board.
Madam the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. Sorry, the councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Hi, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is Mary with Councilor Flaherty's office. Also would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 10, Spin Boston LLC, doing business as Spin, located at 30 Melcher Street. Holder of a common victualler 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from 12,750 square feet of the ground floor and 1,800 square feet of the basement of an 8-story building located at 30 to 40 Melcher Street, Boston, to 12,750 square feet of ground floor, 6,739 square feet of second floor, and 1,800 square feet of the basement of an 8-story building located at 30 to 40 Melcher Street in Boston. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton, Connell, and Devlin for the licensee. With me is Mike McKinley, the Director of Operations for Spin. As you may recall, Spin was licensed for the service of alcohol in May 2019. Because of COVID, they did not actually open till 2021. But since that time, they survived the pandemic. They've had no violations or serious issues. And now we are proposing a approximately 6,000 square foot expansion. You currently enter Spin Ping Pong Restaurant on Melcher Street. This would be an expansion directly above them into the former Papagayo space, which has been vacant for over 6 years. So you would enter that one on Summer Street, or you would come up from the original Spin below. This new space is primarily for corporate team building events. That's a big part of Spin's business. Typically, the corporate events are somewhat smaller crowds. They have earlier end times, and that's what this part of the facility is designed for. There'll be 8 ping pong tables. There'll be a bar. There'll be full food service. There'll be a coat check. There'll be new bathrooms. Although there will be no extra kitchen upstairs, the food will still be cooked downstairs and brought upstairs. So we believe this will bring jobs, taxes, activation of the Summer Street side of the building. And ONS has waived the abutters meeting contingent on a successful FPNA, Fort Point Neighborhood Association meeting. We had that last night. They are in support. We have agreed with them to conduct the construction and build out on a schedule which installs soundproofing first, just in case we need to attenuate any noise issues. But otherwise, we have received a very positive reception for this concept, and there are no other changes to hours, manager, menu, or other aspects of the operation. And with that, we're glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Upton. I think you explained that to my satisfaction. I have no questions. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
Yeah, no questions. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Anna White with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The proponent reached out to the 4 Point Neighborhood Association and presented their plans at the FP&A monthly meeting on June 27th. They answered all questions and concerns from 4 Point residents about the proposal. FP&A supports the proposal in part because the applicant agreed to continue to work with neighbors on any operational impacts the establishment has, and they provided contact details for on-site management. The proponent also agreed to install soundproofing materials on the second floor shared party walls prior to any construction starting. At this time, we'd like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go in recording support. They met with the 4 Point Neighborhood Association, and they do have some conditions, as the attorney mentioned. But we would like to go on recording support based on those conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Hi, Madam Chair and members of the board. I want to echo what both Anna and from Council Flaherty, Council Flynn's office said, and also the mayor's office, that we would like to support.
Thank you, Mary. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 11, BPM Events LLC, doing business as Boston Public Market, located at 100 Hanover Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from in one large room on ground floor of 100 Hanover Street, 28,000 square feet, to exclude stalls 37B to 39B and selling wall 2 as shown on plan on file with the licensing board, with seating areas, prep areas, kitchen, restrooms, and storage and office space on ground floor, together with a seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property with 48 seats and a 10 p.m. closing hour. 2, in one large room on ground floor of 100 Hanover Street, approximately 28,000 square feet, to exclude stalls 3A to 4B, 37B to 39B, and selling wall 2, as shown on plan on file with the licensing board, with seating areas, prep areas, kitchen, restrooms, and storage and office space on ground floor, together with a seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property with 48 seats and a 10 p.m. closing hour. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty representing the licensee. With us this morning, Cheryl Cronin, who's the director of the Boston Public Market. The application before you this morning is to delete these 2 spaces from the existing license. And just for the board's information, this is in contemplation of a further application that will be filed regarding this space in the future. In order for that to happen, this step had to be taken to delete, if you will, these 2 spaces from the license. And as I suggested, we'll be back before you and through the public process to rearrange and refile for this space in the future. And we're certainly happy to answer any of your questions. Ms. Cronin is here, runs the day-to-day operations, oversees the facility, has a very, very good and strong relationship with the community and the city officials. And we are again here happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Cronin. I have no questions at this time.
No questions for me either. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on recording support. Thank you.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Hi, Madam Chair and members of the board. Mary Koski with Council of Flaherty's office would also like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item 12, 21st Inc., doing business as 21st Amendment, located at 150 Bowden Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from in 2 rooms, kitchen and stockroom on the first floor, 2, premise consists of 1,944 total square feet, including indoor space and outdoor seasonal patio space. Indoor space includes 1,604 total square feet in 2 rooms with dining for 28 in 1 room, bar seating for 26 in another room with total capacity of 96, kitchen, storage, walk-in fridge space, and 2 bathrooms, all located on the 1st floor, and 2 exits, 1 public entrance. Indoor seating hours are 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. Outdoor space is annual seasonal patio on public property operated April to October, including 342 total square feet with 2 side-by-side seating areas, handicap ramp with 5-foot clearance for access, dining for 36, custom-built structure surrounding all 3 street sides of the patio, 36 inches in height with Jersey barriers, and open on the sidewalk side. Outdoor seating hours are 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Executive Secretary Leslie Delaney Hawkins with the law firm of Prince Bell on behalf of the applicant. With me today are Peter and Cara McCarthy, the owners and operators. This is a request for an alteration of premise to incorporate what had previously been used as part of the temporary outdoor dining program into the annual license. This space has been used since the onset of COVID-19 relief and has been extremely successful. As the Executive Secretary read into the record, this is located on the public way with approximately 342 feet, 6 tables, and seating for 36. It is also ADA accessible. The closing hour for the outdoor patio is Sunday to Thursday, 9:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 10:30 p.m. There is going to be no subsequent request for entertainment. The outdoor dining area will be staffed at all times to ensure compliance with all of the rules and regulations of the board and the ABCC. And there are no additional changes to the license requested at this time. We reached out to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services as well as the elected officials, and we're informed that because this is an existing temporary patio, no public process would be required. With that, we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I think this is one of the first permanent patios we've seen coming out of our temporary program. But I'm not entirely sure, so it's good to see these come in before us. I have no questions for you at this time. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
No, I have no questions. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, hello, Madam Chair, members of the board, Maggie Van Score from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, our office would like to defer to the judgment of the board. As stated, 21st Amendment has been a part of our temporary outdoor dining program for a few seasons now, and our office is unaware of any concerns about this patio at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item 13, TJ Liquor Mart LLC, doing business as Wells Liquor Mart, located at 1772 Dorchester Ave in Dorchester. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Ma Laxmi Corp., doing business as Dorchester Liquors at the same location. Nick Patel, manager. Closing hour 11 p.m. Additionally, the applicant has petitioned to pledge the license and inventory to TJ Liquor Mart LLC. Attorney John Meridian. Attorney Meridian.
Good morning, Attorney John Meridian, Democus Law Offices. I'm here on behalf of Ma Laxmi Corp. The corporation is buying the liquor stores Wells Liquors from TJ Liquor Mart, located at 1772 Dorchester Avenue. And we're seeking 3 items today: a transfer of the license to Ma Laxmi Corp., approval of Nick Patel as the manager of record, and a pledge of the license inventory to TJ Liquor Mart. This is a transfer of license, same location. There'll be no changes to the business floor plan layout, and the closing hour will remain 11 o'clock. The only really change you'll notice is the DBA will change to Dorchester Liquors. Nick Patel is a U.S. citizen and a Mass resident. He is tip certified. He has experience working in convenience stores and liquor stores that sell beer and wine and liquor. And the pledge of the license is for seller financing, as they're taking a promissory note back on the sale of the business. But with that, I'll take any questions the board may have on this application.
Thank you. I have no questions at this time.
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Calling item number 14, FHM Hospitality, Inc., doing business as Anthem, located at 100 Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Boston SF LLC, doing business as Sugar Factory at the same location. Kevin Silva, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Secondly, has petitioned to amend the description of the premise from 100 South Market Street building in office, kitchen, storage, and bakery and basement, 1 room and a covered and uncovered patio, 74 feet on the 1st floor, 2 rooms, 2 service areas, and a balcony on 2nd floor, entrance and exit at South Market Street and Faneuil Hall Marketplace, unnumbered exit on Chatham Street for stock. 2, the premise contains a basement, office, kitchen, storage, 1st floor, 1 interior room covered in uncovered annual patios on private property, and 2nd floor, 2 interior rooms. The premise also includes 1 balcony and has entrances and exits on South Market Street, Faneuil Hall Marketplace, and unnumbered exit on Chatham Street for stock. Estimated square footage is 2,773. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Morning, Chairman Joyce, Commissioners, Secretary Green, nice to see you again. Tom Miller from McDermott, Quilty and Miller on behalf of the applicant Boston SF LLC, doing business as the Sugar Factory. I am joined today by Kevin Silva, the proposed manager of record, and Lloyd Sugarman, one of the principals of the applicant. The Sugar Factory is proposing this corporation to corporation transfer at the same location to operate in what was formerly known as Anthem in Faneuil Hall. The Sugar Factory as a brand has approximately 20 locations nationally and internationally. It is a destination for celebrations and events focusing on being a inviting space for all ages. They create a celebratory and fun atmosphere with unique and fun drinks and food items. The applicant is renovating the space, as Danny said, to update it and so that it reflects the fun and inviting atmosphere they promote. It'll have 170 seats, and it's going to maintain that 2 a.m. closing hour that was previously at maintained by the previous licensee. The approval of this transfer will help revitalize this vacant and underutilized space in the Faneuil Hall area. The applicants draw as a place to come and celebrate special occasions and events will bring foot traffic and life back to this prominent corner in what is a prominent and important area of our city. As I've said, Mr. Silva is the proposed manager of record. He is a U.S. citizen, a resident of Dartmouth, Massachusetts. He has experience in the food and beverage industry, including the sale and service of alcohol. He is familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth regarding the sale and service of the same. We want to thank you for hearing this application today and be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Attorney Miller. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Silva. I think I saw you on the screen.
Yep, I'm here.
He is here. Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Your attorney covered the manager of record questions. The reason for the transfer. I have no questions at this time. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
I'm Mary Koski here with Madam Chair and members of the board. Mary Koski with Councilor Flaherty's office also would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling item number 15, Paris Seaport Inc., doing business as the Paris Creperie, located at 60 Seaport Boulevard. Holder of a common victual or 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Zazibar Corp. Doing business as Zazibar at the same location. Orly Roberts, manager. Secondly, has petitioned to change the closing hour from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Thirdly, has petitioned to amend the description of the premise from in 2 rooms on the ground floor, cafe with seating and separate pantry area, in 2 rooms on the lower level, prep kitchen and walk-in storage cooler, annual outdoor patio on private property with seating for 30, 2, on ground level and basement of mixed-use building, public-facing component on ground floor with bar seating, table seating, restroom and pantry area, kitchen storage and walk-in cooler located on lower level, annual weather permitting outdoor dining on private property for 35 patrons, 12 a.m. close on outdoor patio. Lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license to Seaport BC Retail Owner LLC. Attorney Leslie Delaney Hawkins. Attorney Hawkins.
Thank you, Executive Secretary. Good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the board, Leslie Delaney Hawkins, and Prince Lovell on behalf of the applicant. With me today is Chef Orly Roberts. As the Attorney Green read into the record, this is an application for a transfer at the same location to a new operator, an alteration of premise for minor cosmetic renovations, a change in the closing hour to 2 a.m. indoors and 12 a.m. midnight outdoors, and to pledge the license to the landlord. I know that Chef O is a familiar face to the board. He has his existing restaurant in Hyde Park and also operates the 8th floor cafeteria in City Hall. We're very excited to be bringing Chef O and his Caribbean infused menu to the Seaport in one of the WS developments. We are proposing a sit-down restaurant with approximately 25 seats indoors and 35 outdoors on private property. We're requesting to extend the indoor closing hour to 2 a.m. from its current 1 a.m. time, but we'll be keeping the outdoor closing hour at midnight based on the conversations we had with the community. This is actually essentially a turnkey space with very little work, so we're looking forward to getting open hopefully this summer. While this is a transfer at the same location, because we are extending the closing hour, I will just briefly touch on public need. Obviously, this is a quickly developing neighborhood. There is always a demand in the Seaport for additional food and beverage options, and we think this is unlike any of the existing operations in the area. Chef O is an approved manager of record by this board. He has significant experience in the food and beverage industry, is a U.S. citizen, a Massachusetts resident, is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol. The pledge is to the landlord entity for consideration on the funds that were loaned to the applicant to purchase the license. We reached out to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, the elected officials, and the newly formed South Boston Seaport Neighborhood Association. Based on the proposed concept and the fact that this is an existing restaurant space and that we are agreeing to keep the outdoor closing hour to 12 a.m. midnight, they did not require an abutters meeting. With that, we are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is your menu going to be the same menu that you have at City Hall?
Chef O?
Somewhat similar, yes.
Good. You've been a welcome addition to the 8th floor. I have no questions. Commissioner Carino, Commissioner Saxon?
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Anna White with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The proponent reached out to the Seaport Neighborhood Association about their proposal. They answered all questions that were raised and worked with SNA on the patio closing time. SNA supports this proposal. At this time, we'd like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Mary Koski with Council Flaherty's office and would also like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Excuse me? Was that someone wishing to testify for item number 15? Okay. If there are no other individuals wishing to testify, the board will take this matter under advisement as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 16, Kachi LLC doing business as La Cancun, located at 192.5 Sumner Street in East Boston. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Mexicali Sushi Bar Inc. doing business as Mexicali Sushi Bar located at 199 Sumner Street in East Boston. Premise consists of approximately 600 square feet in one room on ground floor, kitchen and rear, 300 square feet basement for office and storage, closing hour 2 a.m. Roberto Trujillo Fajardo, manager, and secondly has petitioned to pledge the license to Boston Local Development Corporation. Attorney Kristen Scanlon. Attorney Scanlon.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kristen Scanlon, representing the applicant. Signed on with us this morning is Roberto Trujillo, who is the owner and proposed manager of record, who is a Massachusetts resident living in East Boston, a U.S. citizen, and has extensive experience working within the restaurant industry. By way of background, as you may recall, the board heard an application from this applicant almost a year ago today, within a couple of days, which the board did find public need for at this location and granted a license pending availability of one for which they qualify. Since that time, while no license from the city has become available, the applicant has since been presented with the opportunity to purchase a license for this location from a restaurant actually located right across the street from them in East Boston, which is the application before you today. I certainly defer to the board if you'd like me to proceed with the presentation or incorporate by reference the testimony and supportive documentation presented in support of a license at the previous hearing for this applicant, which included dozens of support letters submitted from the neighborhood organization and nearby residents. The only difference with this application is a pledge of the license to the Boston Local Development Corporation in order to purchase the license for this location. And there's no other changes proposed to the existing restaurant.
Sorry, we can incorporate it by reference.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Chairman, any questions?
Yeah, and with that, I have no questions. Commissioner
Thank you.
Conrad, Commissioner Saxon.
No questions for me either. Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard from the applicant's representation, previously they went through a community process with ONS where the community was very conducive to the proposal. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling item number 17, Gangotri Corporation doing business as East Broadway Market located at 869 East Broadway in South Boston. Has applied for a retail package store wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above 869 East Broadway in South Boston. Retail store on first floor consisting of approximately 886 square feet. Storage located in basement consisting of 600 square feet with 2 arrears of egress. Manager Michael David Gannon, closing time 9:30 p.m. Attorney Paul Gannon. Attorney Gannon.
Yes, good morning, Chairperson Joyce and members of the board. Representing East Broadway Market. My address is 546 East Broadway in South Boston. I'm here with Tony Patel, who is the owner, and the manager, Michael Gannon, is with us remotely. He's a resident of Mass and a U.S. citizen. He's familiar with the rules and regulations of the board and the laws of the state of Massachusetts regarding the sale of alcohol. We had a community meeting about approximately a month ago, and we had a community meeting approximately a month ago, and it was overwhelmingly supportive of the application. The neighbors and customers of the store submitted approximately 650, almost 700 signatures in support, both at the meeting and at the in speaking at community meetings. There was high praise for the operation and in terms of the service that was provided. I will say that the individuals that were in support included immediate abutters, parents of nearby schools, children presently, parents of nearby school children that had attended previously, and both long-term and newer residents to the area. And we did meet with a 3 Point Civic Association, and I understand there may have been a split or some kind of split vote, but I think they may have been in opposition. But we'd be happy to answer any questions, and we have a very good working relationship with the nearby school and the neighbors.
Okay, who are you?
Great.
And
Thank you.
if I may, I apologize. Mr. Gannon is on remotely and may not be as familiar with that, how that applies. He's coming from a funeral of a family member, so I apologize if there's any confusion with his participation.
Okay, thank you. No problem. I understand. I have some questions. I'm taking a look at your application and at the floor plan. And I'm trying to figure out how much space of the current store offerings are going to be turned over to beer and wine. It looks like half the cooler space, you're going to replace the milk, juice, and soda with half of that with beer and wine, with beer.
Yes, we've estimated about 20% will include beer and wine. And we've made some arrangements to have some of the non-milk and juice items to be stacked to accommodate some of the wine.
Okay. Was there any discussion about not selling miniature bottles or single bottles of beer or miniature bottles of wine?
Yeah. Yes, we agreed at the community meeting, and there will be no effort to sell singles. We didn't have a discussion about miniature wines, but we certainly weren't anticipating selling them as well.
Okay.
We would be obviously agreeable to that.
Okay, so the standard that we use to review applications like this is public need. Is there a public need for this type of license at this location? So as their attorney, or I know Mr. Gannon is joining us remotely from a funeral, but you need to describe for us why and what the public need is to add beer and wine to this location.
Did he talk to him?
Sure,
Attorney.
and I'm happy, this is Attorney Gannon speaking, so I'm happy to tell you that in the community meeting, overwhelmingly, the long-term and short-term residents in the immediate abutters spoke to the fact that they wanted the convenience of something nearby. I know a liquor store some distance down the road on Broadway, but nothing in that immediate area. There is one other store blocks away. But as you could be aware, in years past, there were a number of other stores that serviced that area, but they've all closed. So this is one location where we heard repeatedly that they were appreciating the convenience and they had a need for something nearby. So they don't have to drive to a location to purchase a beer or wine.
Do you have specific information about where the closest one is? You said nearby or in the area where the closest spot is to buy beer and wine?
So that there's a location closer to I Street on East Broadway, which is 5 or 6 blocks. I'm estimating it. There's one that's probably 4 blocks away at P and 6th Street. That is again some distance away.
Okay. And are you offering something unique or special? What are you exactly selling as far as product?
Well, they're basically being responsive. The folks in the neighborhood, the neighbors that were requesting it before we put the application in, basically are just trying to cater to the beer and wine requests of the neighbors. We've limited it to that. So I'm not sure how specific I can be on that, but those are the requests from the neighbors to sign the petition that they wanted someplace by so they could walk to the location.
So you're stating that the closest place to buy the same beer and wine that you're going to sell is 4 blocks away, 4 city blocks?
Approximately. I know there's another one that's a little further away, and that might have been 5 blocks, but in essence, we're not saying we're the only one in the whole east side or side of the community, but there aren't any that close enough for them to walk to. Most of them would be if they had to go to another location.
Okay, and then I'm just reviewed the signature petition that was submitted. How did you go about getting those signatures?
So when individuals came into the store, made them aware of that we were following
Where are we
through on
going?
their request for a beer and wine application, and they expressed an interest in supporting it. So literally everybody that signed that came into the store. That's how much, community foot traffic goes into that store. And all those signed it when they were inside or buying something, whether it be for the kids after school or for their own personal needs.
So, and tell me a little bit about what your plans are as far as checking IDs. Will you have a scanner? Will you have cameras? Will you have security?
Yes, we'll have a scanner for checking IDs. And we have cameras too.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Commissioner Curran first and then Commissioner Saxon to see if they have any questions.
I think I would reserve and wait to hear the comments. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, any questions from you?
None at this time, thank you.
Thank you. We're going to first open up to testimony from elected officials. I do see that there are some folks already signed up to speak. If you could please, if you are a member of the public wishing to testify, please use the raise the hand function if you are able to. We'll call on you in the order that you have raised your hand. I will first ask, are there any elected officials or representatives who wish to testify on this matter?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Anna White with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. ONS hosted an abutters meeting on May 31st about the East Broadway Market adding wine and malt beverages to the store. Over 120 people attended the virtual abutters meeting. 39 attendees voiced their support and sorry about that. And I apologize about that. And 8 voiced their opposition to the proposal. Many residents in support spoke about the convenience of having beer and wine sold at this location. The residents in oppositions had concerns about traffic and about the store's location. They're afraid it is too close to a Catholic primary school. Some parents whose children attend the school spoke in support of the proposal and didn't think it would cause harm to their children. ONS has received 6 emails in support and 5 in opposition to the proposal. We have also received a petition from the proponent with over 600 signatures in support from residents. The City Point Neighborhood Association is opposed to this proposal. At this time, we'd like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or their representatives who would like to testify before we move to general public?
Good morning, Commissioner and members of the board. Mary with Councilor Flaherty's office he'd like to go on record in opposition. He says that they're great proprietors and a great asset to the neighborhood, but he doesn't feel the location is a good location for that. And he feels that we have enough of them popping up throughout the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now turn to testimony from the public, and I see a number of hands raised already. The first hand I see raised is from Diane Smith. Ms. Smith, I'm going to ask you to unmute. You may provide your testimony, and you have 2 minutes to do so.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm in opposition to the proposal. And by the way, the P&6 store is only 3 blocks away from O Street, O and Broadway. So to me, 3 blocks is not a problem. As a matter of fact, some of the people who signed that petition lived on P Street. And the owner of the store owns, I think, a total of 5 stores. So I'm sure when people came in, they asked people to sign the petition. So I hope you don't go by the number of people who signed the petition and base your decision on the merits of the situation. I first of all think that having beer and wine when there's a school across the street with impressionable young people is wrong. It's not the right thing to do. And I think that there's a problem with the double parking on the street. And there's a woman who has a handicap spot who can't park in her handicap spot. And it's just not the right location to have beer and wine when there are so many liquor stores already in South Boston. And I don't understand why the young people that are for it can't walk 0 to 3 blocks to get their liquor. That's all I have for now. Thank you. So I'm in opposition.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. The next hand I see raised is from ES. ES, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes to provide your testimony.
Hi, good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. And my name is Eileen Smith, 776 East Broadway. And I'm opposed for many reasons, specifically the safety issues that we're located across the street from a school, and the church is not a half a block away, and it's a bus stop. So, and the residents that are adversely affected by the convenience store basically changing into beer and wine, you know, they have great concerns. Currently, the store closes at 9:30 and 10, and any type of liquor license extension would possibly increase the hours of operation. The abutters, the direct abutters, currently are dealing with very big issues with double parking, and I know that's what we complain about all the time, but there is a bus stop in that same location. So the children, that's another issue. You know, we're going to have potentially flashing neon lights and advertisements for beer and wine. And, you know, we're in a residential community. And I also believe that it's really just an unreasonable location. And as far as the support, it's all about convenience, and convenience, really, there's no regard for the direct neighbors and abutters. And I hope that the board takes all of these issues into consideration when looking at this particular request. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. The next hand I see raised is from Michael Froman. I'm going to ask you to unmute and you have 2 minutes to provide your testimony.
Thank you. I'd like to, as a resident, provide my support to this appeal. This convenience location is about 0.18 miles from my residence right now. The next closest is about 0.9 miles as I've mapped out. So again, convenience of that location, I don't think is unreasonable. The school stop is across the street, not directly in front. I don't know how that's an issue. I mean, there's other places that the city's granted access to beer and wine, such as Jamie's Variety on East 5th, which is directly a block away from a high school, as well as a block away from a community center and a church. So with those being issues, I don't see how that's a major issue here where it's not in other locations. There's also only two stores on that side of L Street on East Broadway. So when we talk about the number of stores popping up, they're not popping up in this location, right? They're popping up further away still from the residents of this side. So I'm leaning towards support for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Froman. The next hand I see raised is from Sheila G. I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes starting now. Sheila, are you still with us?
I'm here. Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hi, Madam Chair and the commissioners. Thank you. Thank you for this hearing today. A couple of things here. To start off with, the store is 141.1 feet away from the front door of the school. And as we know, there's the law, chapter 138, section 16C, it's state law, and it, within 500 feet, oh, sorry, within 500 feet, according to that, there shouldn't be any liquor stores. However, the decision is the Boston Licensing Board, and that makes perfect sense because you guys are responsible and you know the city, and you're knowledgeable. So that's 141 feet. So the first things, when the kids get out of school, the first thing they're going to see are the windows on the store that are used for advertising. there is a bus stop there. And when the bus stop stops, when school is in dismissal, it's a disaster because the customers constantly park in the bus stop. So it's a real danger to the kids. Now, as far as local liquor stores, we have in South Boston 80 plus, that's taverns, restaurants, any place that sells liquor. We have 80 plus. So 2 blocks up the street and around the corner, 143 P Street, is a full liquor store. If you just go down 0.03 miles, you have all of L Street, and you have 5 there. The restaurants, liquor store, and so on. Take you up to Broadway, and we're all familiar with the Broadway. All the way up to G Street, it's 0.6 miles, 0.6 miles away. And within that vicinity, we have 18, 19 drinking establishments there, liquor stores, all the way up to G Street. And then I did do a thing on West Broadway, Dorchester Street, and I would send this into you, the list that I have, but we are saturated. We are not underserved. We are saturated with alcohol. And I, for one, think it's just far too much. We're probably a lot of new people don't realize, I'm sorry, I don't want to take up much time.
Yeah, thank you, Sheila. You are over 2 minutes. That being said, you can submit any additional testimony.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yep, thank you very much. Okay. The next hand I see raised is from an iPhone 83. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and you will have 2 minutes now.
I think that would be me, Irene Camo. Okay, I don't know why it says that, but my name is Irene Cookie Camo. I live about 6 doors up from the store. I am not one of the young people supporting the license. I'm one of the old people supporting the license. Just to contradict one of the speakers who said that these young kids are all looking to have this in the neighborhood. I'm 69 years old. I do enjoy occasional beer, but I do enjoy company that has an occasional beer. And I don't want to walk to P&6, first of all, because they have much less supply for convenience. They are not a well-stocked store. And I've been up there multiple times where I tried to purchase perishable items that were already chewed by some activities that were not conducive to good business and for the neighborhood. I don't want to have to change and put my business up there. It would just not be opportunistic for me. I do not have parking. Most of us around this neighborhood do not have parking. And this convenience would be for us to be able to walk to our store. As far as double parkers, pretty much on that side of Broadway, you're heading to Castle Island. It's a one-way street virtually. It's a dead-end street virtually. There's not going to be a lot of traffic. There's no cut-through traffic there to get to anywhere else. The other.
Oh, sorry, we've lost audio from you. Hang on. 1 second, I'm going to ask you to unmute again. Somehow we've lost your audio. Ms. Camo, are you still with us? Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry that we're unable to hear you. Please feel free to submit any of this in writing as well to licensingboard@boston.gov. It seems we have a connection problem. We've gone mute halfway through your testimony. Moving on to the next hand I see raised is from Luann. Luann, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes starting now.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Luann O'Connor. I'm the president of the City Point Neighborhood Association. I want to confirm what Mr. Gannon said, that they did come before the association. However, it was not a split vote. It was overwhelmingly to oppose the project at this location. So the reason being for that, sorry, Cookie, I'm on right now. So the reason being for that is definitely the location of the school. And it's imperative that our school children are protected from the environment of liquor being sold across the street, where they go for their slushes and their soda and their snacks after school, number one. Number two, The abutters meeting did in fact have quite a few people on it. However, I don't know if the licensing board does the same as the zoning board, where the legal standing is within 300 feet. Most of those signatures were not within 300 feet, which is very important because the direct abutters who are actually attached to that store are in opposition. They're the ones whose quality of life is being affected. The person that is in the store most of the time is extremely friendly. He's well known within the neighborhood. However, this isn't a popularity contest. This is actually something that's going to affect the neighborhood itself permanently with this particular license. So at that point, I am asking the licensing board to consider the direct abutters, the opposition. There's obviously a reason why our elected officials are voting to oppose this, and it's not conducive to the neighborhood. There are neighborhood people that come into the store to play lottery, to socialize, and that's wonderful. It's a community gathering point of all ages, old, young, new residents, old residents. So that's a good thing. It just doesn't need to have alcohol at this particular time. And there are many corner stores within City Point. And the concern is that this will in fact set precedent. We do have PN6, which is a very large liquor store. It recently went through a fire, so they're in the process of restocking. There's some other legal issues there as well.
Ms.
But
O'Connor, that is more than 2.5 minutes. You can provide additional written testimony to licensing.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from Mark on East 5th. Mark, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes to provide your testimony to the board.
Sure, thank you. Hi, my name is Mark Levine. I live on East 5th Street. I'm about within 50 feet of the aforementioned competing licensed store at 6th and P Street. Just first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak today. I am choosing to speak in favor of the petition. Want to touch on a couple points. I'll start with sort of the convenience factor. I think that carries a lot of weight. There are plenty of individuals without transportation in this area. I know there was made mention earlier of oversaturation of alcohol or liquor options within South Boston, but coming from someone who is all the way down the end towards Farragut, I realistically feel as if I have that one option being the store at 6th and P. To piggyback on another point earlier, that store at 6th and P certainly lacks other items. There's often expired perishables and whatnot. And also, I think most people can relate to the fact that Boston is known to be a blue collar city. People value the money that they work hard for, and that store does not give me any sense of belonging or community. People may not view that as something that they value when they go into a store, but I feel as if South Boston is a tight-knit community as someone who's been here for various years. And I feel that presence of community and support and care from the store in question for the petition. So with that, I would be willing to travel the extra time to get to the store in question with the petition, as opposed to going to that store on 6th and P. Additionally, there was a point made earlier about the school, of course, but then also the oversaturation of alcohol within South Boston. There are various schools of many variety within South Boston. So given that there's an oversaturation of alcohol in the area, allegedly, I feel as if that is sort of a contradictory point that there's also a school near this store, as there are stores near many of the other schools. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Mark. We are at 2 minutes now. Please feel free to provide any additional testimony in writing to licensingboard@boston.gov, and thank you for your testimony. The next hand I see raised is from Caroline Costa. Ms. Costa, I'm going to ask you to unmute, and you may please provide your testimony. You'll have 2 minutes starting now.
Thank you. Yep, I live just up the street from the market, and I am in support of them selling beer and wine. I would like to also make note that it's not liquor, it's beer and wine that they have seemed to have filed for. And so there's been a lot of mention about liquor sales, but that is different, and that is different than the offerings that you can find at the liquor store on P Street that everyone has been mentioning as a substitute, which I would argue it's not at that rate, as well as the oversaturation of the market. I would echo that comment, but as a means that I would argue that this wouldn't mean a lot of people would be driving to this location as it is a convenience store. So I don't think that it would cause a big issue for double parking or higher traffic on the street. And in terms of the school environment and the kids being nearby buying like snacks, I've gone to this market many times during the week, and I honestly don't see a lot of kids when I'm in there. And I would argue that public consumption of alcohol is illegal either way. So I don't really understand how that would affect the immediate environment outside, because no one is legally going to be able to drink any alcohol purchased at the market directly outside anyways. So I'm in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. The next hand I see raised is from Molly. Molly, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes starting now.
Hi, my name is Molly Mary O'Connell. I'm a direct abutter. I live 2 doors down from the corner store, and the corner store has been great so far. One of the biggest problems that I have though is the added congestion that's going to bring. Right now it's just absolutely crazy out there with all of the delivery trucks, the buses. When school goes in or out, then there's just people just leave their cars wherever it happens to roll to a stop. The people that go in and out of the market, especially if they're going to be selling booze now, they all idle. Cars idle. I have to clean off my windowsills from all the soot several times a week just from this. But it's a safety issue. It's absolutely crazy out there when all this is happening. A lot of times, first responders have a hard time getting through. And with all these extra delivery trucks, it's just going to be horrible. As far as PNC being too far away, I have difficulty walking and with mobility, parked in it, or it's just being blocked altogether because of double park cars. But even I could walk down to P and 6th. It would take me no more than 10 minutes, and I'm not good with mobility. Another thing, one of the delivery trucks that came just the other day was a big ice truck. And what it did was it kitty cornered right in front of the door to the school. I'm sorry, to the store. And it was running the whole time, and it was completely blocking both crosswalks from the O Street side and the Broadway side. And they left it running. So you couldn't actually access the sidewalk via the handicap ramps or the crosswalk itself. But it's just going to get worse as time goes on with that. And this is just a safety issue. It's crazy when school comes in. About granted, there's a crossing guard there trying to help people, but somebody is going to get seriously hurt or killed with all the craziness at that corner. And I really believe that adding this is just going to make things a lot worse. And as far as the people who are in favor of this, saying that, they don't want to have to walk to PN6 because they don't like that store, because they want to get an occasional beer or occasional bottle of wine. Well, occasional drinks for people shouldn't override what the actual abutters are going to have to deal with. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from Ileana Bonanno. Ms. Bonanno, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you will have 2 minutes as well, starting now.
Yes, thank you. My name is Teresa Bonanno. I live at 871 East Broadway. I just want to clarify that the store is on the corner. It's the intersection of O Street and East Broadway. And I live across the street from the store at the corner triple decker that was purchased by my grandfather in the 40s, by my parents in the 50s. And I have been owner of this 3-decker, 3-family since the early 2000s. I look out the window and I see the store. As far as congestion, it's one of my main concerns. There are double parked cars on O Street, morning, noon, and night. I am often blocked into my parking spot. I have to park on the street because there are double parked cars, people in the store. There are oftentimes parked so much so that emergency vehicles, ambulances, fire trucks cannot get around the corner. The other point that I'd like to make is that this convenience store has been operating as a convenience store for about 30 or 40 years. Prior to that, it was a drugstore. This is a very residential neighborhood. The section of East Broadway from L Street all the way up to the beach has no businesses whatsoever except for this convenience store. My concern is that adding alcohol will increase the congestion, it will increase the noise, it will give rise to young people hanging out outside of the store, trying to have people going into the store buy liquor for them. So that'll increase noise and inconvenience to me and my tenants here at the corner of Bow and Broadway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is the last hand that I see raised. I will ask again, just to make sure there's no one who was not able to use that function. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on this item who has not yet done so? Max Lobel has just raised his hand. Mr. Lobel, you will have 2 minutes starting now.
Hey, thank you for the time. I would just like to quickly show support for the liquor store. I live right across, and I would like to say that the owners are incredible. The managers are incredible. At the abutters meeting, I heard plenty of voices from parents of the kids who go to the school, and they had noted that there's often holiday baskets with liquor and beer and wine. And so my idea is that these kids aren't getting influenced by a convenience store right across the street. In terms of parking, I park my car across the street, have no problems. Yeah, it gets crazy for 20 minutes when school gets let out, but there's nothing you can do about that. So thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And I will ask once again, are there any additional individuals who would like to provide testimony who have not yet done so?
Can I also just state that the double parking from the school is a major issue during the day? So if we're talking about double parking for liquor being an issue, I mean, when school gets out, I can't get my car out on a pretty regular basis because you have all the parents double parked down the road waiting for their kids to get out. So if we're that being an issue, raise that again.
Thank you, Mr. Froman. And for anyone who has already testified, if you would like to provide additional testimony, you may do so in writing at licensingboard@boston.gov. Are there any other individuals who have not yet testified who would like to do so?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Could you please identify yourself? And you will have
Hi.
2 minutes to provide your testimony.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find the hand to raise, but my
No
name
worries.
is Mary Lou Ivaska, Ivaska. I'm a resident at 880 East Broadway, diagonally across from the store. I want to thank you all for having this meeting and giving us an opportunity to express ourselves. I am an abutter. I oppose this project. There's several reasons. The first, of course, has been mentioned about the vicinity of the school. The traffic is an enormous effect on us because the bus stops, people double parking, the school traffic, and it is the main line for all our emergency vehicles. The fire, police, and EMS use Broadway in both directions to pan out on the letter streets on O Street, P Street, N Street, M Street, and all the general vicinity. I also want to mention and go back on a few other testaments that even Sunday afternoon, I witnessed 2 adults selling a bag of alcohol to 2 minors that were attending a function down in the Marine Park. This is what I fear will happen in the future as far as young children or young adults soliciting help to buy alcohol at that corner, whether it's just beer or wine, it's irrelevant at this point. I'd like to just stick to the topic of beer and wine sales in the neighborhood. The convenience, P and 6th Street has been there for quite a few years. And as far as expiration of food products, that should be taken up with the Board of Health. It's not a beer and wine issue. The issue is beer and wine here. And if the residents around here or locals that want to purchase beer at a convenience, they have delivery services also in alcohol stores down here, full liquor stores here. So it's as a matter of convenience. I find that an irrelevant point at this moment. And I appreciate you listening to me. And I certainly hope that for the quality of life for the residents that are directly affected here at the corner of Owen Broadway, you would take all our comments into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll give one more call. Is there anyone who has not yet provided testimony who would like to do so? Following the testimony, are there any additional questions from the board?
What have we heard directly from the school?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I may have lost my visual, but I apologize. So the first call that I made regarding this application was to the parish, and the parish and the school are connected, obviously. And I had a good conversation with the pastor, and they take no position on this matter. And all parties know that. They have not taken a position. The only people we've heard from with children in there have been supportive in the petition, but the parish and the school have taken no position.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Chairman Joyce, Commissioner Saxon. Any further questions?
Nothing further from me. Thank you.
I just want to make sure, is Michael David Gannon already an approved manager of record by the board? Or no?
He has been, yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions.
Thank you. With that, the board will take this matter under advisement, and any additional testimony can be provided in writing at licensingboard@boston.gov. Thank you all for your testimony today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 18, Post Road Company LLC, doing business as Beacon Hill Wine Market located at 55 Anderson Street, has applied for a retail package store wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above. Premises are 1,600 square feet total, one floor open to the public and a basement for storage. There is one entrance and two exits. There will be no seating. Occupancy allows up to 20 guests at a time. Manager Jason Indelicato. Closing time 11 p.m. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton for the applicant, and with me is Jason Indelicato, the proposed 100% owner and the proposed manager of record. Jason has experience owning and operating retail stores in the neighborhood. He is a Mass resident. He's a U.S. citizen. He's familiar with the rules and regulations of this board. So we believe his character and fitness to hold a liquor license is strong. Most importantly, we believe there's a clear public need for a license at this location. This Beacon Hill Market has been in existence for over 20 years. It's sort of a tired and run down convenience store, and Jason has the opportunity and the vision to take it over to turn it into an upscale convenience market. His vision, which I'll let him talk about a little more, includes gourmet prepared food, a wide variety of cheeses, charcuterie, which I am told involve some type of cured meats like ham, and all sorts of other gourmet products. He's proposing wine education. He's proposing wine tastings. He's proposing pairing craft beers and finer wines with the food selection that's going to be a draw for this store. He is also proposing to maintain the staple groceries that are part of the convenience store now. So you will be able to buy Fruit Loops and paper towels and all that stuff, but the product mix will be decidedly more upscale than it is now, and he plans to invest significant money in terms of interior renovation and redecorating. We estimate that percentage of alcohol by either sales or floor space will not exceed 15%. It is an amenity for people who want to buy it from convenience or buy it to pair with food. We have already agreed not to sell kegs, single beers, or malt liquor. And we have had a successful ONS meeting where I don't believe there was any opposition. We have a successful 2-hour meeting with the Beacon Hill Civic Association where we covered every possible contingency, and we have earned the support of that organization as well. Just to summarize some of the things that came up there and that we have agreed to, we were already planning to card everyone, tips train everyone, and have security cameras and an ID scanner. We have agreed to have no neon signs. We have agreed not to have paper window signs. We have agreed not to have delivery and delivery apps. We've agreed not to do lottery. We've agreed not to sell cigarettes. And we believe we will not exacerbate any existing parking issues. This is kind of at the top of the hill at a cross street that does not go all the way through. And the market has been there for 20 years. So we don't believe that the addition of beer and wine would draw customers by car or cause any other issues with parking. That is the basic overview we have. And I'll let Jason give you a few words about the concept.
Thank you, Andrew. Hi, everyone. Thanks for putting this together. As Andrew mentioned, the concept here is to be more of an upscale market than what currently exists. The current condition of the space is more of a true convenience store. And it caters more to, candy and it doesn't even carry newspapers, maybe a cup of coffee, but maybe a thing of milk. But this is going to be more of a grocery store / market. The design, as Andrew said, is going to be able to provide the customer with the opportunity to get, something to bring to a dinner party or something that they might need on a Friday night, but also to be able to provide them with the everyday shopping needs. The market's been there for more than probably almost 100 years. It has a long history in the community. It's a great location in the sense that it's at the top of the hill, and people that live at the top of the hill don't want to have to walk to the bottom of the hill and then back to the top of the hill with their grocery bags. And as you know, in Beacon Hill, the parking is really limited. So a lot of people are on foot. So I think it's a value add to the neighborhood. As Andrew mentioned, really nobody has expressed any concerns over it. We've had a lot of people actually really come out in support, both to me individually and also in the meetings, saying they were really pleased with the idea and like the idea of the market being taken over in a way that would improve its current status. And they were happy with the status, but they were looking forward to a new and improved market.
Mr. Green, if I just might add, we have submitted 270 signatures on a petition in favor. This was a petition that was at the counter with the old owner who graciously agreed to host that for us. We've submitted letters from the landlord and the tenants upstairs, as well as from the owners of the laundromat directly across the street from us, all in support. We have also agreed with the Beacon Hill Civic Association to close early and not sell liquor after 9 o'clock, which is almost every liquor store in the area closes somewhere between 9 and 10. So in order to be similar and on a similar footing as those establishments, this is what the neighborhood thought was appropriate, and we agreed.
Thank you, Attorney Upton. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Sorry, was I on mute? I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Maggie Van from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, our office would like to defer to the judgment of the board. We did hold an abutters meeting on this application where we had a few folks speak favorably about this application. We also sent them to the Beacon Hill Civic Association, who issued a letter of non-opposition. And we have one letter in favor of the application on file, as well as one letter in opposition, citing concerns about public consumption and decrease in property values on file as well. I've submitted both of those to the licensing board. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Those are all the items before the board today, and that will adjourn this morning's hearing. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.